I closed the door behind me with a tired sigh, my thoughts already drifting to the evening ahead. Emily had been distant lately, and I hoped tonight's surprise dinner would bring us closer again. As I walked down the hall, the faint murmur of voices stopped me in my tracks. Curiosity tinged with concern urged me forward. The bedroom door, usually closed, was slightly ajar. I pushed it open, expecting to find Emily perhaps lost in a book or chatting on the phone. Instead, my heart sank to the pit of my stomach. There they were, tangled in our bedsheets, Emily and a man whose face I didn't recognize at first. Their bodies froze in disbelief as my eyes absorbed the scene before me. Emily's face, flushed with embarrassment and guilt, mirrored my shock. The man, a stranger in our sanctuary, scrambled to pull on his clothes, his eyes avoiding mine. "Get out!" I managed to choke out, my voice breaking with a mix of anger and hurt. The man fled, leaving behind a suffocating silence that filled the room like a thick fog. Emily stood before me, trembling, her eyes pleading for forgiveness, even before words could form on her quivering lips. "Chris, I'm so sorry," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the roaring in my ears. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, to shake her until the truth spilled out, but all I could manage was a hollow, "How long?" Her tears fell freely now as she confessed, her words echoing in the cavernous emptiness of our shattered trust. "I don't know. It's been going on for a while. I didn't mean for this to happen." Every syllable pierced deeper into my already wounded heart. I felt the weight of betrayal crush down on me, threatening to suffocate any remaining love I held for her. Without another word, I turned and walked away, leaving Emily standing alone in the ruins of our marriage. The bedroom door shut behind me with a definitive click, sealing away the life I thought we had. Outside, the world continued on, oblivious to the earthquake that had just shattered my existence. I spent the rest of that night on the couch, unable to erase the image of Emily and her lover from my mind. Sleep was a distant memory, replaced by a whirlwind of emotions, anger, disbelief, and a profound sense of betrayal. Morning dawned with a cruel clarity. I called in sick to work, unable to face the charade of normalcy. Instead, I paced the living room, replaying the events of the previous evening like a broken record. When the sun reached its zenith, a determination I hadn't felt in years surged within me. I needed answers. I needed to confront the man who had desecrated our home, our sanctum. Using the small details I had glimpsed during their hurried departure, I pieced together his identity. A name, Michael, surfaced from the recesses of my mind. A quick search online yielded a potential workplace, a nearby gym. With shaking hands, I dialed Emily's number, knowing she wouldn't answer. She hadn't left the bedroom since our confrontation, lost in her own sea of remorse and regret. Driving to the gym felt like navigating through a haze. The world blurred around me, reduced to a tunnel with one destination in mind. Michael. The gym was bustling with midday energy as I entered, my presence unnoticed amidst the clang of weights and the thud of treadmills. I scanned the faces, searching for the one that had invaded my home. There, near the free weights section, I spotted him, a nondescript man with cropped hair and a casual demeanor. His eyes widened in recognition as I approached, a mix of surprise and apprehension crossing his face. "Are you Michael?" My voice was steady, belying the tempest within. He hesitated, then nodded cautiously. "Yeah, who's asking?" "I'm asking," I replied, my tone laced with a simmering rage I struggled to contain. "What the hell were you doing with my wife?" Michael shifted uncomfortably, glancing around as if seeking an escape route. "Look, man, I didn't know she was married." "Bullshit," I snapped, cutting him off. "You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew she wasn't single." The gym seemed to grow quieter around us, as if the universe itself held its breath, waiting for the confrontation to unfold. "I'm sorry, okay?" Michael's voice wavered slightly, his bravado faltering under my intense gaze. "It was a mistake. I didn't mean—" "Get out of our lives," I interrupted, my voice low and menacing. "Stay away from Emily. If I ever see you near her again—" Michael held up his hands defensively. "Fine, man, just calm down, all right? I'll stay away." Satisfied that my message had been delivered, I turned and walked away, leaving Michael standing amidst the weights and sweat, a small victory amidst the wreckage of my marriage. As I drove home, a strange sense of clarity settled over me. Confronting Michael hadn't erased the pain or the betrayal, but it had given me a sliver of control in a situation that felt increasingly out of my grasp. The road ahead remained uncertain, fraught with obstacles and emotions I wasn't sure I could navigate. But one thing was certain. This was just the beginning. The days that followed were a blur of numbness and raw emotion. Emily retreated further into herself. Her attempts at conversation met with stony silence or terse replies from me. I couldn't bear to look at her without feeling a fresh wave of anger and hurt crashing over me. Sleep continued to elude me, replaced by restless nights haunted by memories of happier times, times that now felt like cruel illusions. One evening, unable to stand the suffocating atmosphere of our once happy home, I packed a bag and left. David, my best friend since college, welcomed me into his spare bedroom without questions, offering solace in his quiet understanding. For days, I avoided our shared apartment, drowning my thoughts in work and aimless drives. When I did return, it was to collect essentials, avoiding Emily's presence like a plague. In those lonely hours, I found myself obsessively dissecting every detail of our relationship. How had I missed the signs? Had Emily's distance begun before I noticed, or had I been willfully blind? David urged me to consider therapy, a suggestion I initially dismissed with a bitter laugh. What could a therapist offer that I hadn't already analyzed to exhaustion? But the pain persisted, festering beneath my stoic facade. Reluctantly, I scheduled an appointment, sitting across from a stranger and unloading my shattered heart. The therapist, Dr. Parker, listened without judgment as I poured out my grievances, the story of Emily and Michael like a festering wound laid bare. His questions were gentle but probing, guiding me through the labyrinth of my emotions with a steady hand. "It's normal to feel this way," he reassured me, his voice a lifeline in the storm. "Betrayal cuts deep, especially from someone you trusted." I nodded, the weight of my grief suddenly overwhelming. For the first time since that fateful discovery, tears streamed down my face, each drop a testament to the shattered dreams and fractured trust. In the weeks that followed, therapy became my lifeline. Dr. Parker helped me navigate the turbulent sea of emotions, teaching me to channel my anger into constructive outlets and to confront the pain head-on. Meanwhile, Emily reached out tentatively, her messages a mix of apologies and pleas for reconciliation. Each attempt pulled at the frayed edges of my resolve, reminding me of the love we had once shared. One evening, against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her in a neutral cafe. Emily arrived first, her eyes red-rimmed and haunted, a mirror of my own turmoil. "I'm so sorry, Chris," she whispered, her voice cracking with emotion. "I never meant to hurt you." Her words stirred a maelstrom of conflicting emotions within me, anger, longing, and a flicker of lingering love. We talked for hours, the wounds between us laid bare as we navigated the jagged terrain of betrayal and forgiveness. At the end of the evening, we parted with a tentative truce, agreeing to give each other space to heal. The apartment felt emptier than ever as I returned, uncertainty gnawing at the edges of my resolve. The road ahead remained uncertain, a tangled mess of shattered trust and fragile hope. But in that moment, sitting alone in the silence of our shared home, I knew one thing for certain. This was far from over. Days turned into weeks, and the initial shock of betrayal began to give way to a turbulent sea of emotions. Anger simmered just beneath the surface, a constant companion in my waking hours. But alongside it, a torrent of other feelings threatened to overwhelm me. Sleep remained elusive, each night a battleground of memories and regrets. I tossed and turned, haunted by visions of Emily with her lover, their laughter echoing in the darkness. During the day, I threw myself into work with a fervor bordering on obsession. The office became my refuge, a place where I could bury myself in tasks and deadlines, if only to escape the hollow ache in my chest. Weekends were a different story. Alone in the apartment we once shared, the emptiness weighed heavily upon me. Every corner held a memory, of lazy Sunday mornings spent in each other's arms, of whispered promises and shared dreams now shattered beyond repair. Friends reached out, their concern palpable in every text and phone call. David, steadfast as ever, invited me out for drinks, hoping to coax a smile from my lips. But even in the company of laughter and camaraderie, I felt disconnected, as if I were watching my life unfold from a distance. Anger bubbled to the surface at unexpected moments, a song on the radio that reminded me of happier times, a couple holding hands in the park. Each trigger felt like a dagger to the heart, reopening wounds I thought had begun to heal. One evening, consumed by a wave of bitterness, I drove past our favorite restaurant. The sight of couples dining happily inside sparked a surge of irrational rage. I punched the steering wheel, tears of frustration and helplessness streaming down my cheeks. In those moments, I questioned everything, my worth, my choices, the very fabric of our once solid marriage. Had I been blind to Emily's growing discontent? Was there something I could have done to prevent her betrayal? Dr. Parker's voice echoed in my mind, a constant reminder to acknowledge my feelings without judgment. But the pain persisted, an unrelenting ache that threatened to consume me whole. One night, unable to bear the suffocating silence of our apartment any longer, I packed a bag and drove aimlessly into the night. The road stretched out before me, a ribbon of asphalt leading nowhere and everywhere all at once. Hours passed in a blur of headlights and passing scenery. The darkness offered a temporary reprieve from my inner turmoil, the hum of the engine a soothing rhythm amidst the chaos of my thoughts. As dawn broke on the horizon, I found myself parked at the edge of a cliff overlooking the ocean. The waves crashed against the rocks below, a timeless dance of destruction and renewal. I sat in silence, the salty breeze ruffling my hair, and allowed myself to feel everything, the anger, the sorrow, the overwhelming sense of loss. In that moment of solitude, I began to realize that healing would not come easily or quickly. The road ahead remained shrouded in uncertainty, a labyrinth of emotions waiting to be navigated. But as the first rays of sunlight painted the sky in hues of pink and gold, I made a silent vow to confront my pain with courage, to embrace the turmoil within, and to find a way forward, no matter how difficult the journey might be. Days turned into weeks as I wrestled with the aftermath of Emily's betrayal. The wounds were raw, but beneath the anger and heartache, a simmering determination began to take root. Michael, the man who had invaded our home and shattered our marriage, could not escape unscathed. Armed with the few details I had gleaned from that fateful night, I embarked on a mission to track down Michael. It wasn't difficult. His presence lingered like a stain in my mind, a constant reminder of the pain he had caused. After piecing together his identity and his workplace, I waited for the right moment to confront him. It came on a rainy afternoon, the sky heavy with clouds as I stood outside his office building, heart pounding in my chest. The receptionist barely glanced up as I entered, lost in her phone screen. My footsteps echoed on the tiled floor as I made my way to the elevators, every second ticking by like an eternity. On the third floor, I found myself standing before a glass door bearing the name of Michael's company. My hand trembled slightly as I reached for the handle, pushing it open with a determination that bordered on recklessness. Michael's office was surprisingly modest, a desk cluttered with papers, a computer screen flickering with spreadsheets. He looked up as I entered, surprise and apprehension flickering across his face. "Chris," he said cautiously, rising from his chair, "what are you doing here?" My throat tightened with the weight of unspoken accusations. "We need to talk," I replied, my voice low and controlled despite the storm raging inside me. Michael hesitated, his eyes darting nervously around the room. "Look, man, I'm sorry about what happened." "Sorry isn't good enough," I interrupted, my words clipped and cold. "You destroyed my marriage. You invaded my home." Michael's gaze dropped to the floor, shame coloring his features. "I never meant— Do you even know what you've done?" I demanded, my voice rising with each word. "Do you understand the pain you've caused?" Silence hung heavy between us, punctuated only by the distant hum of office activity beyond the closed door. "I never knew she was married," Michael finally muttered, his words barely audible. "She never told me." "Convenient excuse," I scoffed, the bitterness in my tone palpable. "But ignorance doesn't absolve you of responsibility." Michael's shoulders sagged, defeated. "What do you want from me, Chris?" I took a step closer, my gaze locking with his. "Stay away from Emily. Stay out of our lives." He nodded solemnly, his expression a mix of remorse and resignation. "I will," he promised, his voice a whisper. Satisfied that my message had been delivered, I turned and walked away, leaving Michael standing amidst the remnants of his guilt and regret. Outside, the rain had stopped, leaving behind a crispness in the air that matched the clarity in my mind. Confronting Michael hadn't erased the pain or the betrayal, but it had given me a measure of closure, a small victory in the tumultuous battle for my shattered heart. As I drove home, a weight lifted from my shoulders, replaced by a cautious glimmer of hope. The road ahead remained uncertain, fraught with obstacles and emotions I wasn't sure I could navigate. But for the first time since that fateful discovery, I felt a flicker of strength, a determination to reclaim my life, one step at a time. After confronting Michael, a strange sense of calm settled over me. The storm of emotions that had ravaged my heart since discovering Emily's betrayal seemed to quiet, if only for a moment. But the aftermath still demanded attention, and I found myself grappling with the need for solace and a path forward. David, my unwavering confidant through the turmoil, extended an open invitation. His apartment became a refuge, a sanctuary away from the memories that haunted our shared home. I spent evenings on his couch, nursing a beer and staring blankly at the television, grateful for his silent presence. We spoke little of Emily or Michael. Instead, David offered distraction in the form of old college stories and spontaneous outings. One Saturday afternoon, he dragged me to a baseball game, despite my initial protests. The stadium buzzed with excitement as we settled into our seats, the crack of the bat and the roar of the crowd, a welcome distraction from my inner turmoil. "Thanks for getting me out of the house," I admitted during a rare lull in the game. David grinned, clapping me on the shoulder. "Anytime, buddy, you can't let this consume you." His words struck a chord, a reminder that life continued to unfold beyond the confines of my pain. I nodded, silently grateful for his unwavering support. As days turned into weeks, I sought solace in routine. Work became a refuge, a place where I could lose myself in projects and deadlines. The structure offered a semblance of normalcy amidst the chaos of my personal life. Evenings were reserved for therapy sessions with Dr. Parker. His office, a haven of calm amidst the storm, provided a safe space to unpack my emotions without fear of judgment. Each session peeled back layers of grief and anger, guiding me toward acceptance and healing. Emily's attempts at communication persisted, a constant reminder of the tangled web of emotions that still bound us together. I met her for coffee one rainy afternoon, the neutral surroundings offering a buffer against the rawness of our shared history. "I miss you," she confessed, her voice trembling with vulnerability. I sighed, stirring my coffee absently. "I miss us too." Our conversation meandered through familiar territory, apologies, regrets, and tentative hopes for the future. Despite the wounds between us, I couldn't deny the lingering love that had once defined our relationship. "We need time," I finally said, meeting her gaze with a mixture of pain and determination. "To figure things out." Emily nodded, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. "I understand." In the days that followed, we tiptoed around each other, navigating the delicate balance between estrangement and reconciliation. Emily respected my need for space, while I wrestled with conflicting desires, to rebuild what we had lost or to walk away for good. David remained a steady presence throughout, offering sage advice and a listening ear whenever I needed it. Together, we explored new hobbies, a hiking trip to the nearby mountains, evenings spent at a local art gallery. Each experience offered a brief respite from the weight of my emotions, a glimpse of a future beyond the wreckage of my marriage. But beneath the surface, uncertainty lingered, a gnawing fear that forgiveness would never erase the scars of betrayal, that trust could never be fully restored. The road ahead remained shrouded in shadows, a daunting journey toward forgiveness and redemption. Yet amidst the uncertainty, a flicker of hope remained, a fragile seed planted in the fertile soil of my heart. Whether it would bloom into reconciliation or wither beneath the weight of past betrayals remained to be seen. In the quiet moments between work and therapy sessions, I found myself grappling with a profound sense of reevaluation. The turmoil of emotions stirred by Emily's betrayal demanded introspection, forcing me to confront uncomfortable truths about our marriage and myself. Dr. Parker's guidance became increasingly pivotal in this journey of self-discovery. With his gentle probing and insightful questions, he encouraged me to explore the foundations of our relationship, the cracks that had gone unnoticed, the compromises left unspoken. Together we delved into the patterns of our marriage, dissecting the moments of connection and the growing distances that had gradually eroded our bond. I confronted my own shortcomings, times when work had consumed my attention, moments of complacency in the face of Emily's subtle changes. Marriage is a partnership, Dr. Parker reminded me, his voice a steady anchor in the tempest of my thoughts. It requires constant nurturing and open communication. His words echoed in the silence of my apartment, a stark contrast to the echoes of betrayal that still reverberated through its halls. I began to see our relationship with newfound clarity, a complex tapestry of love and flaws, of shared dreams and unspoken fears. Conversations with David offered additional perspectives. Over late-night beers and heart-to-heart talks, he offered insights drawn from his own experiences of love and loss. "You have to decide what's best for you," he advised, his words tinged with empathy. "But don't rush into anything. Healing takes time." Time became both ally and adversary as I navigated the crossroads of forgiveness and moving on. Emily's presence lingered in every corner of my thoughts, a reminder of the woman I had once loved fiercely and the pain she had inflicted. One evening, I stumbled across old photographs tucked away in a forgotten drawer, snapshots of happier times, captured in fleeting moments of joy and laughter. My fingers traced the contours of our smiles, the warmth of our embraces, before setting them aside with a sigh. In those quiet moments, I allowed myself to mourn, not just for the loss of our marriage, but for the innocence of trust shattered by betrayal. The tears I shed were a testament to the depth of my grief, the ache of wounds still raw and tender. Yet amidst the pain, a seed of forgiveness began to take root, a fragile bud in the fertile soil of my heart. I realized that forgiveness did not erase the past, nor did it condone Emily's actions. It offered me a path forward, a choice to release the burden of resentment and reclaim my peace of mind. Emily's attempts at reconciliation continued, each gesture a tentative step toward healing. We attended marriage counseling together, navigating the treacherous waters of shared memories and unspoken regrets. The sessions were fraught with tension, but beneath the surface, a glimmer of hope flickered, a shared desire to salvage what remained of our love. As weeks turned into months, I found myself at a crossroads, a pivotal moment of decision looming on the horizon. The road ahead remained uncertain, a labyrinth of emotions waiting to be navigated. But one thing was certain. I had embarked on a journey of self-discovery, a quest for clarity and forgiveness amidst the wreckage of my shattered heart. Therapy became a lifeline in the tumultuous aftermath of Emily's betrayal. Dr. Parker's office, a haven of calm amidst the storm of emotions, provided a safe space to unravel the tangled threads of my heartache and confusion. Each session began with a hesitant exhale as I settled into the familiar armchair, my gaze drawn to the serene landscape painting adorning the wall. Dr. Parker greeted me with a reassuring smile, his presence a comforting anchor in the sea of uncertainty. "How have you been since our last session?" His voice, gentle yet probing, encouraged me to confront the whirlwind of emotions swirling within. I spoke of sleepless nights haunted by memories of Emily and her lover, of the anger that simmered just beneath the surface, threatening to boil over at any moment. The therapist listened attentively, guiding our conversations with skillful questions that encouraged introspection without judgment. Together, we navigated the complex terrain of betrayal and forgiveness. Dr. Parker helped me identify and process the layers of pain, deep-seated feelings of inadequacy, the shattered trust that had once formed the bedrock of our marriage. "It's natural to feel betrayed," he reassured me during one particularly tumultuous session. "But forgiveness is a journey, not a destination." His words resonated deeply, challenging my preconceived notions of forgiveness as a simple act of absolution. Instead, he encouraged me to explore forgiveness as a process, a gradual unfolding of acceptance and healing. In therapy, I confronted my own vulnerabilities, the insecurities that had fueled my fears of abandonment, the unmet expectations that had strained our relationship. Dr. Parker guided me through exercises in empathy and self-compassion, encouraging me to extend grace not only to Emily, but also to myself. Outside the therapy room, I implemented strategies to manage my emotions, a journal to capture the tumultuous thoughts swirling within, meditation to cultivate inner peace amidst the chaos. These practices became anchors in the storm, grounding me in moments of overwhelming despair. Emily joined me for several counseling sessions, her presence a testament to our shared commitment to salvaging what remained of our fractured relationship. Together, we navigated the treacherous waters of remorse and regret, confronting uncomfortable truths with Dr. Parker's guidance as a steady hand. Communication is key, the therapist emphasized during a particularly tense session. Listen to each other's perspectives, without judgment. Gradually, the walls between us began to crumble, revealing glimpses of the love that had once bound us together. We unearthed buried grievances and unspoken desires, forging a path toward mutual understanding and reconciliation. Yet beneath the fragile truce lay lingering doubts. Could we rebuild what had been lost? Was forgiveness truly attainable, or were we merely delaying the inevitable? Dr. Parker's wisdom provided a compass in the murky waters of uncertainty. His unwavering support and insightful guidance offered a lifeline as we navigated the tumultuous terrain of healing and renewal. As therapy sessions continued, I wrestled with conflicting emotions. Hope mingled with fear, forgiveness tempered by lingering resentment. The road ahead remained fraught with obstacles, a testament to the complexity of love and the resilience of the human spirit. But in the sanctuary of Dr. Parker's office, I began to glimpse a flicker of light, a beacon of hope amid the wreckage of my shattered heart. Emily's efforts to repair the fractured remnants of our marriage intensified in the wake of our therapy sessions. Her apologies became more earnest, her gestures of reconciliation more heartfelt. Yet beneath her determination to mend what she had broken, I detected a shadow of uncertainty, a fear that forgiveness might remain forever out of reach. She arranged surprise dinners, her culinary skills a nostalgic echo of happier times. We shared tentative conversations, exploring the wreckage of our shared past, with a mix of trepidation and longing. "I want us to try again," she confessed one evening, her voice tinged with vulnerability. Her words stirred a tempest of conflicting emotions within me. Part of me yearned to believe in the possibility of redemption, to reclaim the love we had once shared. Yet another part remained guarded, wary of reopening old wounds. "We're making progress," Dr. Parker reassured me during our next session, his tone measured yet hopeful. "Rebuilding trust takes time." Time became a currency in our fragile reconciliation, a measure of patience and perseverance as we navigated the uncertain terrain of forgiveness. Emily's efforts, while earnest, often stumbled against the jagged edges of my lingering doubts. Yet amidst the uncertainty, moments of connection surfaced like fragile blooms in a barren landscape. We shared quiet evenings on the couch, the weight of unspoken apologies hanging in the air. Emily's laughter, once a distant memory, echoed through the walls of our shared home once more. Still, shadows lingered beneath the surface. I wrestled with insecurities, fears that history might repeat itself, that forgiveness might prove fleeting in the face of unresolved pain. Dr. Parker's guidance became increasingly pivotal in this delicate dance of reconciliation. His exercises in empathy and communication challenged us to confront uncomfortable truths with courage and compassion. "Listen to each other's perspectives," he urged during a joint session, his voice a steady anchor in the storm. "Communication is the foundation of trust." Together, we explored the roots of our shared discontent, the missed opportunities for honest dialogue, the unspoken expectations that had fueled our mutual disappointments. Through tearful confessions and hesitant apologies, we began to rebuild the fragile framework of our marriage. Emily's efforts did not go unnoticed. She attended individual therapy sessions, confronting her own insecurities and regrets with a newfound determination. Her willingness to delve into the depths of her own culpability offered a glimmer of hope, a shared commitment to heal the wounds we had inflicted upon each other. Yet the road ahead remained fraught with uncertainty, a delicate balance between forgiveness and self-preservation, between rebuilding trust and guarding fragile hearts. Dr. Parker's wisdom provided a guiding light in this labyrinthine journey, his unwavering support a lifeline amidst the tumult of conflicting emotions. As Emily's efforts continued, I found myself grappling with a choice, a pivotal moment of decision looming on the horizon. The scars of betrayal remained etched upon my heart, a testament to the fragility of trust and the resilience of love. But in Emily's earnest attempts at redemption, I glimpsed a flicker of possibility, a fragile hope that forgiveness might pave the way toward a future defined by healing and renewal. Marriage counseling became a cornerstone of our journey toward reconciliation. Dr. Parker's office, once a sanctuary for individual introspection, now bore witness to the fragile dance of rebuilding trust and forging a new understanding between Emily and me. Our joint sessions began tentatively, the air thick with unspoken grievances and lingering wounds. Yet under Dr. Parker's gentle guidance, we navigated the treacherous waters of remorse and reconciliation with a newfound determination. Communication is key, the therapist reiterated during our first session together, his voice a calm presence amid the storm of emotions. Listen to each other without judgment. Emily and I faced each other across the small office, the weight of our shared history palpable in the silence that stretched between us. With hesitant words and tearful confessions, we unearthed buried grievances and unspoken desires, laying bare the complexities of our fractured relationship. "I didn't realize how much I had hurt you," Emily admitted one afternoon, her voice trembling with vulnerability. "I'm sorry, Chris, I never meant—" Her words caught in her throat, emotions too raw to articulate. I reached across the small table, offering a tentative squeeze of her hand, a gesture of solidarity amidst the wreckage of our shared past. "We both made mistakes," I replied softly, my own voice thick with unshed tears. "But we're here now. That's what matters." Dr. Parker guided us through exercises in empathy and active listening, encouraging us to approach our conversations with openness and compassion. Together, we explored the patterns of our marriage, the moments of connection overshadowed by misunderstandings and unmet expectations. Through the haze of pain and uncertainty, glimpses of our shared love began to emerge like fragile blooms in a barren landscape. We rediscovered the joy of shared laughter, the comfort of familiar routines, as we tentatively navigated the path toward forgiveness. Yet, the road ahead remained fraught with obstacles, a delicate balance between rebuilding trust and guarding fragile hearts. Dr. Parker's insights into healthy communication and conflict resolution became invaluable tools in this journey of healing and renewal. Outside the therapy room, we implemented strategies to strengthen our bond, a commitment to regular date nights, open and honest conversations about our fears and hopes for the future. These practices became pillars of stability amidst the uncertainty of our fragile reconciliation. Emily's efforts to repair the fractured remnants of our marriage continued unabated. She attended individual therapy sessions, confronting her own insecurities and regrets with a newfound determination. Her willingness to delve into the depths of her own culpability offered a glimmer of hope, a shared commitment to heal the wounds we had inflicted upon each other. As the weeks turned into months, I found myself grappling with conflicting emotions. Hope mingled with fear, forgiveness tempered by lingering doubt. The scars of betrayal remained etched upon my heart, a reminder of the fragility of trust and the resilience of love. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, a fragile seed of hope began to take root, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the possibility of a future defined by healing and renewal. The journey toward healing and reconciliation unfolded gradually, marked by moments of clarity and setbacks along the way. As Emily and I continued our sessions with Dr. Parker, the therapist's guidance became increasingly pivotal in navigating the complexities of forgiveness and rebuilding trust. In the sanctuary of his office, we confronted uncomfortable truths with courage and compassion. Dr. Parker challenged us to communicate openly, to listen with empathy, and to approach our shared history with a spirit of forgiveness. "Forgiveness is a choice," he reminded us during one particularly poignant session. "It's not about forgetting or excusing the past, but about releasing the hold it has on your present." His words resonated deeply, challenging me to confront my own fears and insecurities. Emily's efforts to repair our fractured marriage were earnest and heartfelt, yet doubts lingered, a cautious voice of self-preservation that urged me to tread carefully. Outside the therapy room, we implemented Dr. Parker's strategies with renewed determination. We set aside dedicated time for meaningful conversations, exploring the depths of our emotions with newfound honesty and vulnerability. "I want to earn back your trust," Emily confessed one evening, her eyes filled with unshed tears. "I'll do whatever it takes." Her words stirred conflicting emotions within me, a longing for reconciliation tempered by the scars of betrayal that still lingered beneath the surface. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, a flicker of hope began to take root, a tentative belief that forgiveness might pave the way toward a future defined by healing and renewal. As months passed, the wounds inflicted by Emily's betrayal gradually began to heal. The ache of broken trust softened, replaced by a growing sense of resilience and compassion. Together, we navigated the complexities of rebuilding our marriage with cautious optimism, guided by Dr. Parker's steady hand. Yet, the decision to fully commit to our reconciliation weighed heavily on my heart. I wrestled with lingering doubts, fears that history might repeat itself, that forgiveness might prove fleeting in the face of unresolved pain. Dr. Parker encouraged us to take things one step at a time, to honor the progress we had made while acknowledging the challenges that lay ahead. His unwavering support and insightful guidance offered a lifeline as we navigated the delicate balance between forgiveness and self-preservation. One evening, as Emily and I sat together on the couch, the weight of unspoken decisions hung heavy in the air. The silence between us was a palpable reminder of the choices that lay before us. The choice to forgive, to rebuild, or to part ways and forge separate paths. "I love you," Emily whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "I'm sorry for everything." Her words pierced through the walls of my uncertainty, stirring a wellspring of conflicting emotions within me. In that vulnerable moment, I realized that forgiveness was not a single act, but a continuous journey, a choice to embrace the complexities of love and loss, of healing and renewal. As I looked into Emily's eyes, I saw a reflection of my own hopes and fears mirrored back at me. The road ahead remained uncertain, fraught with challenges and obstacles waiting to be navigated. Yet in that moment, I made a decision to embrace forgiveness, to release the grip of resentment, and to reclaim the fragile bond that had once defined us. The journey toward healing and reconciliation was far from over, but in Emily's tearful embrace, I found a glimmer of peace, a testament to the enduring power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. The turning point in our journey toward reconciliation came unexpectedly, on a crisp autumn afternoon, amidst the golden hues of falling leaves and the whisper of a cool breeze. Emily and I had spent the morning exploring a quaint farmer's market, sipping hot cider and browsing through handmade crafts. The tension that had once defined our interactions seemed to melt away, replaced by a tentative ease, an unspoken understanding that we were navigating uncharted territory together. As we strolled through the park, hand in hand, a sense of peace settled over us like a warm blanket. The laughter that bubbled between us felt effortless, genuine, a testament to the healing that had begun to take root in our hearts. "I never thought we'd get to this place," Emily admitted softly, breaking the comfortable silence between us. Her words echoed my own sentiments, a cautious hope that forgiveness might indeed pave the way toward a future defined by healing and renewal. The scars of betrayal, though still tender, no longer overshadowed the fragile bond that had once defined our marriage. "We've come a long way," I replied, squeezing her hand gently. "I'm proud of us." Emily's smile was radiant, a reflection of the newfound peace that had settled within her. In that moment, I saw a glimpse of the woman I had fallen in love with, the strength and resilience that had drawn me to her in the first place. As the afternoon sun dipped toward the horizon, we found ourselves standing at the edge of a tranquil pond, its surface rippling with reflections of autumn colors. Emily turned to me, her eyes searching mine with a mixture of vulnerability and determination. "I want to rebuild what we had," she said earnestly, her voice steady despite the emotions swirling within her. "I want us to start fresh." Her words stirred a surge of emotions within me, gratitude for her unwavering commitment, awe at the depth of her resilience, and a flicker of hope for the future we might yet carve out together. "We can do this," I replied, my voice tinged with conviction. "Together." In that pivotal moment, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the echoes of our shared history, we made a silent vow, a commitment to embrace forgiveness, to nurture the fragile bond that had once been fractured by betrayal. The road ahead remained uncertain, fraught with challenges and obstacles waiting to be navigated. Yet in Emily's embrace, I found solace, a testament to the enduring power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. As we walked hand in hand toward the setting sun, I knew that our journey toward healing and reconciliation was far from over. But in that moment of unity and understanding, I found renewed hope, a beacon of light illuminating the path toward a future defined by forgiveness, redemption, and the enduring strength of our love. The days that followed our turning point at the park unfolded with a quiet determination to rebuild what had been shattered. Emily and I approached each moment with renewed commitment, navigating the delicate balance between healing wounds and forging a new path forward together. Our evenings became a sanctuary of shared dinners and intimate conversations, where we explored the depths of our emotions with newfound honesty and vulnerability. Dr. Parker's guidance continued to be a steady presence in our lives, offering insights and strategies to strengthen our communication and deepen our understanding of each other. Trust is a fragile gift, he reminded us during one of our final therapy sessions, his words a poignant reminder of the challenges that lay ahead. Handle it with care. Emily and I embarked on a journey of rebuilding trust, one small gesture at a time. She made a concerted effort to be transparent about her whereabouts and activities, understanding the importance of rebuilding the foundation of our relationship on honesty and openness. "I want you to know that you can trust me," she affirmed one evening, her eyes earnest as she met my gaze across the dinner table. Her words carried weight, a promise of commitment and accountability that echoed through the corridors of our shared history. I nodded in silent acknowledgement, gratitude swelling within me for her unwavering determination to earn back my trust. Yet the road to resolution was not without its challenges. Moments of doubt and insecurity surfaced unexpectedly, triggering waves of fear and uncertainty. Old wounds threatened to reopen, testing the fragile bond we had painstakingly rebuilt. During these moments of vulnerability, we leaned on the lessons learned in therapy, tools and strategies to navigate conflicts with compassion and understanding. We implemented regular check-ins and heartfelt conversations, fostering an environment of mutual respect and support. As the weeks turned into months, I witnessed Emily's genuine efforts to embody the values of forgiveness and accountability. Her commitment to our renewed relationship shone through in her actions, a willingness to compromise, a dedication to rebuilding what had once been lost. Together, we explored new hobbies and adventures, a hiking trip to the mountains, weekend getaways to quaint bed and breakfasts. These experiences became opportunities to create new memories and deepen our bond, leaving behind the shadows of our tumultuous past. The scars of betrayal, though still tender, began to fade with each passing day, a testament to the resilience of love and the power of forgiveness. Emily's steadfast presence in my life became a source of strength, a reminder of the depth of her commitment to our shared future. In moments of quiet reflection, I marveled at the transformation that had taken place within us, a journey of healing and renewal that had brought us closer together than ever before. Our relationship was not without its imperfections, but in our imperfections, we found beauty and strength. As we stood hand in hand beneath the stars one crisp evening, I knew that we had emerged from the shadows of our past, stronger and more resilient than we had ever been. The road to resolution had been fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but in Emily's embrace, I found solace, a testament to the enduring power of love and the unwavering determination to overcome adversity. The journey toward resolution was far from over, but in that moment of unity and understanding, I found peace, a renewed sense of hope for the future we would continue to build together, one step at a time. The dawn of a new beginning arrived with the gentle warmth of a spring morning, casting a golden hue over the landscape of our renewed love. Emily and I stood on the threshold of a future shaped by forgiveness, resilience, and the unwavering commitment to cherish each other once more. Our journey through the tumult of betrayal and reconciliation had forged a bond stronger than steel, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the resilience of love. Dr. Parker's guidance had been instrumental in navigating the complexities of our relationship, offering tools and insights that had paved the way toward healing. As we embraced the challenges and triumphs of our renewed partnership, we discovered a deeper appreciation for the intricacies of love, a love that had weathered the storms of doubt and emerged stronger on the other side. Together, we embarked on new adventures and created cherished memories, a testament to the enduring strength of our bond and the limitless possibilities of our shared future. The scars of betrayal had faded into echoes of the past, replaced by a renewed sense of trust and mutual respect. "I'm grateful for this second chance," Emily confessed one evening, her eyes brimming with unshed tears, "for the opportunity to rebuild what we once lost." Her words mirrored my own sentiments, a gratitude for the resilience of our love and the courage to embrace forgiveness. In Emily's embrace, I found solace, a reassurance that our journey toward healing had led us to a place of profound understanding and renewed hope. As we looked toward the horizon of our future, I knew that challenges lay ahead. Moments of doubt, unforeseen obstacles, and the complexities of navigating life's uncertainties. Yet, in Emily's unwavering commitment and the strength of our shared resolve, I found assurance that we would face them together, hand in hand. The road to new beginnings was paved with lessons learned and a profound appreciation for the transformative power of forgiveness. In embracing our imperfections and honoring the complexities of our shared journey, we discovered the beauty of love renewed, a love that had withstood the tests of time and emerged resilient and unyielding. And so, as the sun set on our tumultuous past and rose on the promise of our future, Emily and I embraced the gift of a second chance, a testament to the enduring power of forgiveness and the boundless possibilities of love's redemption. In each other's arms, we found the courage to embrace new beginnings, a journey of healing, renewal, and the unwavering belief that love, in all its complexities, was worth fighting for. And with hearts full of hope and hands intertwined, we stepped forward into the dawn of our new beginning, ready to embrace the limitless possibilities of our shared future, one cherished moment at a time.